It's fine.
Alrighty then, what is up, everyone? Welcome to today's podcast right here at the round table. I am here with my host, co-host, whatever you want to call it, my guest
Gaming?
up, Rich Gaming. You already know the man of the legend. Yeah, fuck, I gotta work on that intro.
Yeah,
Go ahead
it's
and
fine.
introduce yourself to the people. Let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, what's up, man?
All right, so we're gonna get straight to the point. The topic
Right.
of today is what? Actually, let me dabble on that one. I totally forgot what I said. All right, give me a second. I know. So, what makes a game actually good? Story, gameplay, or feeling? That is today's topic of the discussion that we're going to be having today. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have a third member, but obviously, probably knocked out from a long days of work. I know everybody works areas. That's why we do this kind of late night. As always, right around 11 o'clock or 11:30, head on over to Rich Gaming's live over at twitch.tv. Catch them live and do that good stuff. If you want to catch me live, probably going to be doing some Thursday nights or just head over to my YouTube channel at Sinjo VGC to catch everything on the Pokemon action side. So, Rich, what makes a good
What's up?
game? What makes a good
Like
game?
I said, like all that you just said. The immersion, the feeling, the storytelling, and the gameplay.
Right. I mean,
There's so many franchises out there that are so good, that have the storytelling, that have the gameplay, that have all of it. But there's some games that don't have it all. They
yeah,
might
yeah.
have the gameplay, but the storytelling sucks butt really bad.
um.
Sometimes the storytelling is really good, but the gameplay is really bad. So it just
All
depends.
right. So you gotta give us a couple of games that has the most best storyline,
Mhm.
but the mechanics sucks and have the shittiest storyline, but the mechanics are pure art. What games are those? Because
Right.
I don't know. Like for
To be
me,
honest, I'm not. I don't know those type of games. Which ones were there? But I got my top eight,
oh
and
okay. So
I'll
you
give you
oh
my top eight.
all
Okay.
right. Now we're talking. All right. So what? So shoot me up. What you got?
My top eight games is Resident Evil,
I knew it. I
Final
knew it. Hold
Fantasy.
up. Before you go into that, your
Uh,
next game that I'm thinking, Elden Ring.
you got it.
There you go.
Resident Evil, Final Fantasy,
Oh, Final Fantasy.
Elden
Damn.
Ring, God of War,
Oh, I was on. Hold on. I was on.
Diablo, Dead by Daylight, Grand Theft Auto, and Apex Legends.
Okay, so let's just
Those
break
are
it.
my top eight.
Let's just break it down real quick. Okay, so you said Resident Evil.
Mhm.
Are you talking about the newest Resident Evil 7? Oh no, Resident Evil 9? Or
No,
which
this
Resident
is
Evil?
the franchise whole.
Oh, as a whole. And how do you, okay, so as a whole, is that an immersive or storytelling?
It's kind of everything. It has immersive to the sense of world. It has the emotion, well, not emotion, but the narrative depth and the mechanic mastery.
Okay. So I
So
do
I'm gonna be telling y'all each of them in detailed form in the categories they're really good at.
okay. Nice. Because I do enjoy Resident Evil storyline. I like
Right.
massive storyline like Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil in general. I love the storyline because it's just pure. Like I just watched Resident Evil the CGI movies, Degeneration, Death Island, um,
Yeah. Damnation.
Damnation, all of them. I'm like, I just love the
Mhm.
storyline how it is. The action is good.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, the action is good. They're not the greatest
Mhm.
thing, because
Mhm.
it's it's CGI,
Mhm.
um, but I just love the storyline. I mean, it's not immersive per se, so I
Mhm.
can't really jump into the Resident Evil in the immersive aspect. But gameplay wise, from all the Resident Evil games that you played, gameplay wise, is it a good game?
Yeah, it is a good game. I'm gonna tell you right now, the immersive side of it is the gold standard of the asthmatic dread. Whether navigating whether it's the claustrophobic Spencer Mansion, or the visual realism of the RE engine. The series uses masterful sound design and lighting to make you feel like you're in the game,
Oh,
or like the shadow is the threat. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it captivates you. It's like you're in the game, like you're immersive in the game. is what makes
I
Resident Evil
do
storytelling in the immersive way that you're in the game. You're
now. I do
basically
love
that
the jump
character.
from Resident Evil Director's Cut for the PlayStation to Resident
Yes.
Evil One for the Nintendo GameCube, and the
Yes.
graphics from that one scene when you first meet your first zombie, when you start turning his head.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, when he's tilting his head and eating a dude and everything.
yeah, and he goes up there and
You
looks at him, and then it just
like what the
ah that is just like masterpiece right there. I'm like, for those
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
are in the same age range as me, Resident Evil Director's Cut for the PlayStation One, it had the scariest, I would say, for me personally, the scariest cutscene when you first meet your zombie, and the blood is just dripping, and it just, I know it's pixelated and all that stuff, but when they updated the graphics into Resident Evil for the Nintendo GameCube and that scene hits, it's dark, it's lightning outside, you can see the flashes, and it just that goriness. Oh,
Right.
pure art form.
And that wasn't my first Resident Evil though. My first Resident Evil is Resident Evil 2. And the scene for me was at the beginning, like the captivating part of seeing Leon driving his Jeep. And it's like you see him driving his Jeep and it just goes into like the city aspect and then it goes into where the guy gets bitten
Oh, so you're talking
at
about
at the gas
the
station by the one and he leaves on his on his gasoline engine truck or whatever.
yeah. You're talking about Resident
Yeah, he's
Evil.
like, hey, why that guy bite me? Like
Yeah, that's the remake. So on Resident Evil for the PlayStation One, it doesn't have that scene. What it has is Leon. Um, it's I want to say because it's two different because if you play Leon's side, it's just him
uh-huh.
going to the cop car and whatever. If I can remember correctly, if not, then
It
we can.
goes from the Jeep. It goes to the Jeep where he finds the lady on the street, and then from that point, before he finds the lady in the street, it zooms on his back because it says RPD Police Department because
Uh,
he's a rookie cop, and then it goes to that scene where the guy gets bitten by the zombie. The guy in the truck gets bit by the zombie where it kicks the zombie out of the truck,
okay, yeah.
and then he's like,
Now I'm
"Maniac,
coming back. Now it's
fight
coming
me,"
back. Yeah,
and then it goes back to Leon um, looking at the girl like and see if she gets up as a zombie. He tells her to back off because guys, she's
It's a
coming at
cop.
him and shit, and she shoots him, and he shoots her, and then she comes back to life. He's like, "Hey, what is this thing? Like, what's going on?" Like, and that was my first perspective, like, what is going on? Because I didn't know this game. I didn't know this game at all. I didn't even know they made a zombie game at all. Because this is
Okay,
all new to me. This was my first time playing Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation 1. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, I didn't even know what Resident Evil was
see, that's the thing
at the
because
time.
I played Resident Evil Director's Cut. I played the first one, like, because when you playing it, when you press start and it says new game, you go Resident
Mhm.
Evil, and it just fades away.
Yeah,
Oh, that's just like, oh, what is
Resident
this?
Evil
Like,
2,
what
like
is
Resident
this?
Evil 2. I'm
But then
like,
again, see,
oh,
because
geez,
on
okay, it
Resident
sounds like this
Evil,
is gonna be crazy.
yeah, because Resident Evil One, when it opened up, it had a like a back in the day in the PlayStation, it was like a short film, kind of cutscenes in the beginning,
Yep.
and it was like played by
See?
like weak actors, and it shows like all these actors as the characters, like Barry,
Yep. Yep.
and all this stuff, and it shows like all these characters, like
Like real life
live,
characters, yeah, like real life
real
people
actors
portraying.
playing as these characters, and it's like supposed to be like
Right.
a movie type. That's Resident Evil One.
Right.
They took that out in Resident Evil Two, and then just went from over
Yeah.
there. And you said, all right, what was the other game you were talking about?
Final Fantasy.
Oh my God, Final Fantasy. I
Yes.
the jump. I mean, the jump from Final Fantasy VII PlayStation again, PlayStation to PlayStation 5, remade. Pure, like, the world just opens up. Like,
Yeah.
everything is just opens up, and it uses the same character models for Event Children. If those who have seen the movie Final Fantasy VII Event Children, it uses the same
Mhm.
models, but
Yeah.
the way they did it is not one to one from PlayStation
Right.
to PlayStation 5. They
Mhm.
open up the story. They open up. They let it breathe. I'm like, and again, the gameplay graphics, it's a mixture of Crisis Core and Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. Like it is Final Fantasy base, but it's Crisis Core engine. Which
Right.
again, Crisis Core uses the same engine as the Final Fantasy VII remake, but an update with the PlayStation 5 graphics and all that good stuff. That was able to name the mechanic. If you're familiar with Crisis Core, Final Fantasy Crisis Core, then you are familiar with Final Fantasy VII remake by the mechanics.
Right.
Storyline, yeah, it's a one for one storyline. For me personally, immersion, I don't really get the immersion feel because since I already played the first installment, which is Final Fantasy for the PlayStation 1, I didn't get that feel going into Final Fantasy 7 remade. Now, there is a Final Fantasy game that I really didn't like. Gameplay wise, characters, immersive feel, but the reason why I say but is because the soundtrack to this game was pure symphony. I know
Hmm.
you're gonna probably be like, oh, you don't like that one, but hey, that's just me. It is Final Fantasy X. I don't care for it. But the track
Oh man, you don't like Titus, man.
Titus, he comes out as an arrogant prick, and
the
he comes out
he
of
gets
like
that a
most
lot
of the he
though.
comes out
He gets that a lot.
as an arrogant prick, and he
More
comes
like
out
a
talking
punk
about
kid.
yeah, he's like a
A
pumpkin,
punk
and
kid.
then he's like, oh, my dad is X, Y, and Z. My dad's that,
Yeah.
bro. Your dad is gonna kick your ass.
Yeah,
Like
Jenkins gonna
the whole
kick your ass,
and then the
bruh.
whole thing doesn't. I don't like the storyline doesn't like I don't understand the storyline. Like the whole
And that's
thing,
what Final Fantasy's built for. It's storytelling.
yeah. But Final Fantasy X, the storyline just makes no sense to me. I can see and Final Fantasy 8 too. I did not care for Final Fantasy 8. Final,
What?
the,
That's a classic, bruh.
yeah, but
That's one of my favorites.
the storyline does not work for me. Final Fantasy
It
7
doesn't work for you.
storyline works for me. Final Fantasy 8, no. Final Fantasy 9 works for me. Final Fantasy 10,
Yeah.
no. I haven't really played 11, 12, and the rest of it, but just talking
Well, you're
to
not missing
Final
anything
Fantasy,
from. Well, I haven't played I haven't played 11, 12, 13. I own 14. I have played I have played I haven't played 15 because 15 is online, I believe. I don't know if it's online, if
I think
15
it's
is online or
14.
whatever, or
It's
I
one of
think
those
it's
two.
12 but it's online. I don't know which one it is. But I've played 14. I own 14 and I used to own 16
Oh wow, I haven't,
before it
I
got
haven't got up there
before
this close.
my account got hacked.
Um, yeah,
So
I mean, I played the online version with a friend of mine, a coworker, and I just couldn't get into it. Like, I can't get into like stuff like that. If I was gonna get into games like that, like an MMO, I have to start from the beginning. Like, I have to get it right at the
yeah.
beginning, day one. That's just me.
Yep.
Any type of MMO game, I have to be day one. If I'm not there at day one, and I'm day 5, day 10, day 14, I'm already behind. I'm like, oh, how you got this? How you got that? How do you got that? And it just kills it. But yeah, Final
Mhm.
Fantasy 8 storyline confuses me. Final Fantasy 10 storyline confuses me. And I
Yeah.
tried it. I really did. I played it. I gave it a go. I mean, it's a good
I don't
game. The
know, man.
mechanics are good.
Aaron and Kamari are probably the best characters in that whole thing, man.
Kamari. Oh,
I love
I
Kamari. He's a beast, man.
yeah.
He's like a K Sith because his ultimates, like his finisher moves, are like it's like a up toss. Like you can choose which one you think you'll choose. You know, it's like
Yeah. Oh my god. Kamari. I mean, Aaron. That's like a knockoff Vincent Valentine.
right.
He's a knockoff
Yep.
Vincent Valentine. Like, come on now, you can't beat Vincent Valentine.
No.
Like, and I'm
No.
just saying the gameplay. I like the gameplay. The mechanics sticks to the original turn based system, which is pretty good,
Yeah.
nice. Doesn't stray from it. Same thing with Final Fantasy 8. But
Right.
on Final Fantasy 8, you have quote unquote, they're all orphans for some reason, and then they got separated, and now they're fighting each other. Like,
Mhm.
and then Reina is the love interest of Squall, but then
Yeah.
again, he's all broody, and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing here? Like, we understand Cloud Sif and Tifa Lockhart are like their own thing, but like they're really
Yeah.
good friends. But even though Cloud is like a one-sided love relationship with Tifa Lockhart, but she sees it as friends.
Right. Eh,
But for Final Fantasy VIII, it's like the Rihanna like Squall, or what's going on, or they all, or were those all orphans at one point in time?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, and then the whole dream debacle going back and forth with two different characters just makes the whole thing just fall apart. I'm like, what
Yeah,
is
that was
going
kind of
on?
confusing to me too at the beginning when I first started the game. But then I realized, it's just trying to make sure that all characters get involved.
Oh yeah, like it
So,
just makes it. And then you have
and it's
um
weird because it was like they had their own storyline, and then Squall had his own storyline, and if you played somebody else with that, they had their own storyline. So it was kind of
yeah,
like weird.
and it's like, okay, where do everything mix?
I think they kind of noticed that nobody was liking that part, and they ended up doing it well for Resident for I mean for Final Fantasy IX with
Mm,
uh with the Dane and
nine
all them.
nine was really good because they took back to the steampunk type thing, because now
Yeah,
so Zaydan Zaydeen, I'm butchering his fucking name, and
I
his
call him Zidane. I don't know
Zidane
if it's Zidane
Zidane,
or Zidane or whatever.
and then his brother, I keep forgetting his name, which they're like they grew up together, but then again, one of them became like a Sephiroth, and be like, yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna fuck with people no more. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do my own
yeah.
thing. Like, you could do your thing, but I'm gonna do my own thing. But the starting in Alexandria, that's the beginning town, is where they
Mhm,
plan to kidnap the princess um
mhm.
from whatever, the stepmother or whatever, the step queen, whatever. And it tells you that story like, hey, listen, we're a bunch of pirates, and we're gonna essentially kidnap the princess. But then again, the princess comes with us. Like, she wanted to come with us.
Right.
So it's like, all right,
Mhm,
so let's go do this now. So now you're running away from the army of Alexandria, which is the captain. I forgot his name, but we call him because Zadian calls him Rusty. He's the comical person, but
right.
he's a really good character. He's a really good character. Like, I like his design. I like how his thing is like, hey,
Yeah, they were like back in medieval times.
like, hey, I'm the. I mean, Final Fantasy. What is that? Final Fantasy 13 went back to the, no, not 13. I think it was 14. It went back into the whole medieval time, the whole
Royal,
steampunk.
yeah, the whole royal thing. Yeah,
Yeah, with him being a thief, or
with Noct
a
and all them.
rogue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Noct was a beast, bro. 14 was my one of my favorites too to play. 14.
I haven't really got into 12 with lightning, but I do understand some
Oh
of the
no,
characters because of.
yeah, I never played
Um,
Lightning. Mm-mm.
have you ever played Dissidia?
Yes, I played Dissidia.
Oh,
That's
beautiful
fun.
game, beautiful game. Like, and I love
It's
how
beautiful.
they made Dissidia NT Warrior, but they didn't really continue it. I mean, come
Now
on now.
I want to pause you there. I didn't play like the console version of Dissidia.
Hmm.
I played the mobile version of Dissidia.
The mobile. You're talking about the portable version.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That one
I
has a
played
good
that one.
story. I will give Dissidia Final Fantasy a good story. It's too bad that they didn't really like continue it with like another installment, because that story was really good. It's like they battle each other every year, and every year, Diablo and Cosmos. Is it Cosmos? Um, is yeah, it's this like Cosmos and like the devil and an angel picking their warriors and having them fight, and then if they lose, they get to switch sides. They get to pick whatever, and they go like, I, you take this one, I take that one, you have this one, you have,
Yeah.
and it's like that been going on for like, the city of two, which is duodecim, which is 012, which is the 12th round of the Cydia Final Fantasy, which is the 13th round. So if you
Right.
played Duodecim, you will understand
Hmm.
like the story. You understand what's going on Dissidia, and then Dissidia Inti
Hmm.
Warrior. But again, that is like the best story of Final Fantasy that I can think of right now that has a good linear like what's going on, whatever. Still haven't really took the questions like, okay, how did it all started? Who was the
Right.
main cause of all this stuff? And but yeah, like I said, Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 8 storyline, I didn't really care for it. Mechanic wise, they stick to the true guns of the RTB, and yeah, I kind of like it. Um, I really don't really care for the how you call that specials, the limit breakers they have. The
Yeah, the limit breakers.
like
Like the limit breakers then on the like the older games or the newer games now.
no, no, the newer games are pretty okay. Like you
Hmm.
obviously you gotta, it's like Crisis Core, you gotta fill up a certain range or whatever, and then you gotta do it, and then.
Right.
But I'm talking about like Final Fantasy 8. It becomes like a little mini game. I'm like, just do
Right.
the finisher, bro. Just you pick a finisher. It does it by itself. Get it over with. We're done. No, it just become a mini game. You gotta like, oh, you gotta time it, time it, time it, time it. I'm like, nobody
Right.
wants that,
Right.
man.
Now my question is, do you like the way the games are portraying the fights now? As in like open world fight, like an open world scene fight, or did you rather have the whole base turn based mechanic like the old school days?
Funny that you mentioned that. I will prefer um cutscene battles.
Like the ones now?
No, not the how can I put it? Like I know I came on like pressing buttons so it's becoming a mini game. But if you play Resident Evil 4, like Leon versus Krauser, and you have
Okay,
that like time that button right, and you got, or Spider Man,
I know
you
what
got
you're
to
talking
like,
about. Yes,
like those type of
Final Fantasy. Yeah,
quick
Final Fantasy
action.
14, I think, has that too, and that mechanic where you have cutscenes and you have to make sure you press the buttons on time
Yeah,
before,
I
like,
think
I
I
think
think
it's the fight with Titan in 14 when you're fighting Titan, and you have to make your way down and you have to press buttons in order to like escape. If you don't press it on
yeah.
time, you'll die or whatever.
I haven't really got into 14 there, but quick action cutscenes. There you go. Quick action
Yeah,
cutscenes
quick estimate.
that makes the battle like immersive. Like you have to hit him. Like you have to hit him. Like going back to Resident Evil 4, when Leon versus Krauser, knife to knife, and they was just going around in a circle
Yep, next
talking,
time.
like giving back to back like story, like giving a backstory while or like
Hmm.
what happened between those two. Like that kind of quick action scenes, I would love to be put
Yeah,
into like really good action games, because that is not only gives you the immersion, it also gives you like the feel like you like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And then on top of that, you throw a nice soundtrack on top of that. Oh, bravo. That is art. I
right.
like okay, so one part what I was saying, the fight with Cloud versus Sephiroth in Event Children. That right there, with the one wing angel and then with a quick action button sequence. Oh, that would be beautiful. And then you actually playing like, ooh, you got to feel for it. All right, I'm gonna give you a quick second, real quick, and then I'll be right back, and then we'll go on to the next game. What was it?
It would be God of War.
Ooh, now God of War. Ooh, yeah, we got a lot to talk about that one. Hold on. So give me a quick
Or
second.
it depends if you want to talk about Elden Ring. It don't matter.
Well, I haven't really played Elden Ring like that, but I did play God of War.
All
So,
right, so we will play. Then we'll talk about God of War.
all right, give me 2 seconds. Sorry about the yet. We are back, and we're next up is talking about God of War. What are you doing?
Yes, sir. God of War, man. What do you tell? What can we say about God of War, man? We all love Kratos.
Now,
Um,
my thing
but yeah,
about
God
the
of War basically is more the feeling.
okay, so is it a good game of God of War? Because I know there was a lot of rumors saying that God of War is going to get a remastered for one and two, and everybody the first thing that people already started about is will they have the sex scene mini game? Like really? Are y'all that degenerate?
Where they have the girl naked and stuff like
Exactly.
that.
Like yo.
That that's their whole main concern. My main concern is that they don't ruin the whole storyline with the remake.
Mhm.
I heard it's gonna be more graphic oriented remaster instead of having to change the storyline or whatever. So hopefully in that aspect it doesn't change,
So
but just
yeah,
I hope it does change for graphic wise because it needs to look more beautiful than it
mhm.
did back then. But hopefully it doesn't change the story at all.
I will probably will think the remaster will be somewhat like a Final Fantasy remade treatment, like taking the pixel style from PlayStation 2 up to Ragnarok style PlayStation 5. Now,
Right.
as far as gameplay mechanics goes, I believe this is the one that has the great storyline but crappy gameplay. That's
You
just
think
my
so?
opinion. It's a beat 'em up. There you go. It's a beat 'em up. How can it's a beat 'em up. Like you just press one
Right.
button. You can play the whole game like this, one button. You move around.
Yeah.
You get actually Joy-Con over here and just press one button. That's it. No combos,
Hmm.
no nothing. It's a beat 'em up with a little bit of puzzle. It's
Yeah. This is the God of War before the storyline, like before the whole new God of War with him and Atreus, where like he portrays as the father.
uh-huh.
He was a father back in the day, but he had murdered his own family. That's why he was cursed with the ashes of his wife and kids, and that's why he wore the ashes on. That's why he was so white with the red scar. Um, that was a ruthless Kratos. That Kratos didn't even care about anything but just killing anything in his path, basically, to becoming better than the gods themselves.
Right. And that's where
But the new era God of War, like the new era now, focuses more like on fatherhood. And a lot of times it's gonna be like making it, tempered to be vulnerability and making personal victories feeling significant and cosmic, or as cosmic ones, basically saying.
so basically this is like
Because
going
it's the feeling.
from
The feeling is it's like people take that like into like their perspective on how they feel as a father.
yeah, so it's like going from a god to becoming back
Yeah,
human. Like
yeah,
with humidity going coming back human to with humidity. Like being
right.
humble, like, hey man, you killed the gods. Now you're like, hey, time to live a life as a human now. Because what else is there to do, right? Like, what else is there to do? All right, so God of War, sucky mechanics, good game, good storyline.
Yeah.
From choppy graphics to beautiful graphics now. Does you consider that to be a good game within, let's say, at its time? The PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation. I don't think God
Mhm.
of War came on the PlayStation 4
And the PSP and PSP.
or and the PSP. But I'm saying, did it?
Mhm.
I don't know if they came on the PlayStation 4. God of War. I know
Yes,
they ported the place God of War 3 for
God of
4.
War, the one with Atreus, and then they imported it into PS5. Same thing with three, God of War three. They remastered three or re yeah remastered three for the PlayStation 4.
Okay, yeah. Uh, it's like, man, for me personally, I don't really like beat 'em up games because there's one game that I played that was a beat 'em up game that it's like have the greatest story, the really good stories. I love the stories, but the mechanics is like is boring.
Right.
So I mean, you could have the like they always say, you could have the greatest story ever, but if your gameplay suck, ain't nobody gonna play it. They just gonna
Right.
play for the story and then just drop it down. Like, all right, the story was pretty good, yeah, but I got to grind this that or that? Do I grind all this stuff? No, I mean nobody wants that. Oh
And like
man,
you said, everybody has their own opinions too to the game. So it's like I don't want to disrespect any game that has that kind of mechanic, and stuff like that. And then
I
somebody else is like, "Oh, well, that is because you probably haven't played it, or you don't." It's
yeah,
like
yeah. But I
I
got
probably
one.
played it, just it's not my thing.
What other games that has the same style of gameplay that I don't want to say the name of it because I already know that one of our closest friends played this game, and trust me, the gameplay is the same thing as God of War, but the story is pretty good. Like it's not
Mhm,
immersive enough to like follow the characters, but it is it is good enough that you be like, yeah, I mean that game is really cool. Like it's really cool to play. But the gameplay is the same thing as God of War. It's like, do I want to play it? It's just the same thing. If
mhm.
would you say would the game be a lot better with a different mechanics, or would it be just as fine with the same mechanics?
Depending.
Okay.
If you feel like the old mechanics work better for you, then that works better for you. But if you think it needs new ones, then hey, by all means, whatever makes the game better for you. But it like I said, it just depends on the player, the person playing it,
Right, right,
and
right,
how
right.
they're gonna like it because they might not like the old mechanics and want a new mechanic, and then like the new mechanics and not like the old mechanics. But then a newer player might like the older mechanics and not like the newer ones. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes vice versa. So.
Yeah, yeah. And I think about a really good game that has it's the same genre of game, but has two different
Mhm,
mechanics. And going by your logic, I prefer one mechanic over the other,
mhm,
but the story is like completely day and night. So, to the game that if you're not familiar is Ghost Recon's Advanced Warfighter, and
mhm.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfighter.
Right.
So
Mhm,
in Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 1 and 2, you have the over the shoulder camera angle. Obviously, Call of Duty tried that third person shooter as well, and I loved it. I was like, I love this game mode. But it took it out, because not everybody plays it, not everybody likes it because they like the first person shooter. But the over the shoulder mechanics gameplay that Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare 2 and 1 had, I fell in love with shooter games. That's how I fell in love with shooter games. It's like because of that mechanic. I want to feel like I'm that character and just like 80 and like shooting down range and I'm like I'm him. I'm that person. That's why I like
I got a concept that had that same mechanic.
yeah.
SOCOM.
Yes. Like those type of over the shoulder third person games, shooters especially, I will dive into it so hard than first person shooter. Yes, I play first person shooter. Obviously, I used to play Call of Duty. I used to play Battlefield 6, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 and 2, not 3 cuz I play almost all the Call of Duty games, but yeah, I play first person shooter. But it still doesn't immerse me as much as third person shooter because if I'm playing a third person and I want to like for me personally to get immersed into a game, they have three things they have to have. Number one is the third person camera. Number two, character customization. And the last thing, it has to have the environment. Like the environment needs to draw you in. Like if the
Right.
environment is just like grass, tree, sky, building, like
Yeah.
no, I want
You don't get
to.
that immersed. I don't think you get that immersed when the first person shooter. I think you get it more with a third person shooter because you're actually looking at your character and you're looking at the surroundings and you're not zoomed so much in the surroundings when you're in third person. You're more immersed when you're in first person, but you see it more when you're in third person. If
Right,
you
and
if you get
it's
what I'm saying.
yeah, and like the layers of the layers of
Yeah.
the environment. You have your
It
foreground, you have your
layers.
midground, and you
Mhm.
have your background. If the
Right.
game
Exactly.
has that, like that immersive, like yeah, there's some games that has. um, PNG background. Let's just call it that way. PNG backgrounds, and
Mm,
yeah, all right. This is a shot. Okay, so this is a shot from my department, and I know everybody was bitching and moaning, complaining about this, but I have to throw it out there. Pokemon Legends
okay.
EA.
Okay.
It's not as immersive as I want it to be, but the simple fact that I can explore an open city,
Right.
and of course it has a PNG background for the borders and all that stuff, and it's like, all right, we get it. It's a PNG. Like we can't go over there. It's all right. But for me to feel the immersive is like the environment, the people around you, the buildings from a distance. Like when you go up to a building, you can see the tower all the way from the distance in the background. Then when you get close to it, you can see how massive it is. And you're like, yeah, yeah, that's the immersive of the environment. So, because I had this
Okay.
I had this comment on that one video when I started streaming Legends EA, where it's like, oh, this game is not immersive. Immersive to you could be different for what I see it. Immersive could be like gameplay storyline, like you're involve
Right.
yourself in the characters, like you know the character's name. It's like a TV show. Like you spent time to invest yourself in those characters, and you'd be like, case in point, if I'm going back into Final Fantasy, we all invested ourselves in the character Aerith.
Right.
Everybody loved Aerith. Then when that part scenes when Sheparov comes and stabs her, nobody did not sit through that thing without shedding a tear.
Oh,
Everybody
I
at least
should. I cried my ass off.
exactly,
I
because you felt the immersive
I
of the
cried.
character.
I
Like,
held it in the stream. I held it in the stream, but I did cry.
yeah, like you felt connection to that
Because
character because that character was with you, was telling their story, was like, hey, I grew up
right.
this,
Not
and
so much of that. It's just the original from whoever played the original Final Fantasy VII
right,
knows what went through and knows
right.
that feeling.
That immersion is like character immersion. Like you
Right.
feel the characters, like, oh, and then like, yeah,
You felt the character, yes.
we're
You
gonna be
felt
here for a long
everything
time,
that
and
was done in that scene and everything.
so for me, it's like in my side of session in Pokemon, it's like you feel nostalgic for that one Pokemon that you have forever, and then when you lose it, it hits you like
Right.
no. So this is why I want a shameless plug here. I'm gonna be live streaming my Pokemon Nuzlocke, Diamond. Is it Brilliant Diamond? For the Nintendo Switch, and that's essentially what it is a set of rules that you catch the first Pokemon you see, you have to nickname that Pokemon, and then if it fates in battle, it's dead. You can't use it no more. You have to
Right.
release it. So imagine people who plays this game and uses their starter Pokemon to everything, get to the Elite Four, finally get to the champion with their starter, and then dies right at the end.
Mhm.
Oh, it'll break so many people's heart. Like, yo, I started with you. We went through this long journey. We went through all this stuff,
Yeah.
and we did all this stuff, and then you didn't make it to the end. Like, that's the feel when Aerith was going with you in your journey. You was changing team, and you wanted to have Aerith in your team forever,
Yeah.
and then just Cheprov comes out of nowhere and just boom. And what tops it off that made it such a masterpiece was they had Aerith lullaby playing in the background while you fought Genova.
Right.
That was like
Dude,
like
the feels, man. My goosebumps. It gave me goosebumps.
exactly.
It
That's
gave
the
me
immersion
goosebumps on that scene.
that I would consider that as the character immersion. Like you felt for the character, like you was like,
Yeah.
we're there. And then you have the
Right.
environment immersion where you feel like you are part of the environment around you. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're right there. So that's two immersions right there. The feel, the tension, the like the suspense.
Mm-hmm.
Going into that scene, the tension, the suspense, and all that stuff. What is the last game on your list that you said you love?
Oh, I have I have three others. I have Dead by Daylight, I have Diablo 4, and I have Apex Legends.
Oh, okay. So before we get to Apex Legends, because I know that's a
Yeah,
real
but
good
can
one.
I cut you off real quick? I just wanted to add to the immersion part of
Yeah, man.
everything. There's one game out of my list that can do both
Ooh.
in the third person and first person and still give you that immersive feel that you're in that game all the time, and that's Resident Evil. So, what I say that is from 7 to 8, where you
Mm.
get that first person feel. That was scary as shit. I'm telling you, when you're dealing with stuff and you're playing in these headphones and you're at
Oh yeah.
first person view and you're not looking at your surroundings at all, like everything, all you see is just that tunnel vision, and you hear something in the background hitting, like something falls, you're like, what the heck is that?
Oh yeah.
That is something crazy.
That would be.
And now that I've played Resident Evil 9 Requiem and I played it in first person, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good with first person. I'm not doing it anymore.
So I mean that's the what we call the environmental immersion. That's
In the environmental immersion, yep.
like the environment itself gives you that suspense. And it's like, all right,
Right.
we're gonna build that suspense and you can be like, catch it quick.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do love. And that's
It's
a
like it's like when everything goes quiet, like, okay, something's about to go down. You're like,
right, right, right.
you already know the instinct.
So there's a game in here for the Nintendo Switch that has that also that same feeling, but not as scary as you do, but they feel like you're part of a bigger world. And that
Mhm.
is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like,
Right.
if you ever get to play Breath of the Wild, I don't know if you ever got a chance to play Breath of the Wild, but if you get to play it and you just sit there and just take it all in,
Mhm.
the sound effects, the everything, you just feel like you can feel the wind, like you can feel the wind in your mind, like you can feel the wind blowing. Once you hear it, you can feel it. The environmental immersion is just like, all right, we're gonna do this now. We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm like, I do have the same feeling with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet after the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade, and it's just like I always turn down the music because I want to hear just my surroundings. I want to hear the Pokemon's, chirping or crying out in the wild, and I just hear the footsteps of people walking and the chattering and all stuff. I want to hear that so I can immerse myself into that same feeling, into the same world, and then I can actually be like, okay, how will I fit in this world? What kind of team will use in this Pokemon in this battle? Like, what are my choices? Not like, oh, I'm going VGC and battling competition. No, no, no. Inside the Pokemon game,
Right.
inside the Pokemon world, what is my
Right.
immersion? And that's what I like to do. I like to turn down the music of most of my games and just listen
Mm-hmm.
and just
And just listen.
just listen, because if somebody is like a that can transmit words into image in their head, then
Mm-hmm.
you have a perfectly good immersion of what you experience. You have a better experience of what you're looking at, a better experience of
Right.
what you're doing, and all that stuff. If you're that type of person that you're reading a book and the image from the book is coming to your head, you will have a really good experience when you're
Yeah.
just
You gotta let
tuning
your
in.
imagination run wild, bro.
Exactly, like you
That's how
just
it is
tune
with
out. You
games.
just
You gotta let your imagination run wild.
all right. You said that we're going to Dead by Daylight. Why Dead by Daylight?
I don't know. I mean, Dead by Daylight, it's a whole different animal, bro. That has a lot of mix of emotions. It's an
I
emotion game. It's a roller coaster.
I can understand the feelings, like, um, but how do you honest opinion? What do you think about the gameplay? The
The
5v1.
gameplay is fun. I mean, the mechanics easy, but sometimes it can get really chaotic when you're getting chased by the killer.
Yeah,
But other than that, the gameplay is fun. Kind of easy mechanics. It's just hard. It's just hard to get away from the killer sometimes.
I know there has a little bit of a story to it. What do you think about their lore, so to speak?
Like the newer killers and stuff,
Well, most likely, like I
or like
you
the maps,
no, no, no,
which maps they have.
not just the math, but more like the story behind the characters. Because I know there's some characters that has a story behind
Oh
them.
yeah, I played Dwight. a lot, and Dwight was a nerd. Yeah, I kind of feel like his his nerdiness, but he was a nerd in a way like I don't know. It's like I read his backstory, and it's just like a weird way. He was more like a scientist nerd more
Is it like one of
than
those?
like a nerd, like a comic book nerd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So his background is just weird because he had went out into the woods to do an experiment with some scientist, and he was never heard of again after that. Like they just went
So,
into the woods to experiment,
so classic horror
and
trope. You want to call it classic horror
but
trope?
yeah, like he was bullied in
Uh,
school because of his nerdness. So he was bullied a lot. He tried to fit in with all the kids in the high school and stuff like
okay.
that, but it never worked out for him. He tried football. He was always cut from every sport team that he tried out. He just tried to fit in, but he couldn't. So the only thing that he could fit in was his science class, with his science teacher was like his best friend, I guess. And he trusted his teacher to go out in this wilderness to do some science experiment, and then he wasn't heard of ever again, which is weird to me.
Uh,
It's just
yeah, it is. It is weird, but I will say gameplay wise, I the 5v1 is great when implemented the right way. As you can see, we're Friday the 13th. It was implemented the right way. Dead by Daylight, it is implemented the right way, but you have so many different killers. So, would you think that hearing the stories of a kid going missing or whatever, do you think that Dead by Daylight will be a much more immersive game? Keywording here, immersive game, if it had a different mechanics. Let's say Silent Hill mechanics.
like Silent Hill mechanics.
Yes.
Instead of having like to have the escape, it's just more like a role playing.
I would say more like you still have to escape because,
Oh,
but more of a story driven than a competitive format. So let's say, okay, so let's say, on Silent
or like
Hill.
story driven, like an RPG, like making it into an RPG kind of, but still gotta escape, do the whole mechanics of escaping and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But at
but
least
take out
giving it
the,
like a story,
yeah, give them the
or having to
story.
do like puzzles, because
Yeah,
that's like almost like something hits was like almost like Resident Evil.
so yeah, I mean somewhere around that line. So yeah, so giving them the Resident Evil, Silent Hill game mechanic treatment as a Dead by Daylight game, but within chapters. So let's say you have the main characters of the Dead by Daylight, the survivors, the main characters, the survivors, not the DLCs. We have to make this quick because we're gonna only have two more games to cover.
I know
Um,
that's fine.
the
Yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't want the Resident Evil aspect or the Silent Hill aspect to the theme because it gives you more of an imagination what to think about when you're doing the Dead by Daylight mechanic, where it's just you gotta figure the character out. You gotta make sure when you're escaping, not when you're escaping, but what they use their more of the imagination where you gotta use their abilities.
So more, so you're saying for the current mechanics, it's more of like suspense, like yeah, quickness,
Yeah, the
like
suspense of it. Yeah, it's
yeah, like
better. It's better than just having the storytell because then the storytell would just ruin the whole suspense scene of
mhm,
getting chased by the
killer
character.
and
Uh, because the, because the mechanics now is basically you got to find generators to and fill them up to escape,
right.
and then the you won't know where the killer is at until you get into like a 15-foot radius and you start hearing like the radius of the killer coming by.
Okay.
And sometimes these killers don't even have a radius, like Ghostface.
Yeah.
Ghostface does not. He has an ability that makes him you can't hear where he's at, or he could be right behind you and you don't even know that he's there.
And then
he
we
has
just
a
turn around
he
like,
has a
oh, what
radius
the?
for just him sound.
Uh,
Yeah, like boof, he comes
yeah,
out.
right.
He was like Michael Myers,
Ooh,
close to Michael Myers the same way. Like, but at least Michael had the radius. But if you let him stare at you long enough, he
yeah.
would have that power. He would gain that power in ranks. So it would be a one shot where you can just go down in one shot.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next game that we have before we hit to Apex Legends because I know you got a lot to talk about Apex Legends.
Yeah,
What's the other one? Was it
Diablo 4.
Diablo 4? Now I can see Diablo 4 as a way of immersion as a role playing because you do create your character the way you want,
Yeah,
and then you explore dungeons and all stuff. I can see that,
yeah,
but I can also see that as a different format than what it is right now. More like Skyrim Online or Elder Scroll Online than what you
right.
have the top down on Diablo 4. But again, this is Diablo 4 we're talking about. And if we change Diablo 4 formula, it won't be Diablo 4. It would just be a knockoff of Elder Scroll Online.
Right.
Any
I,
thoughts on it?
uh, yeah, I believe that it has changed a lot with Diablo 4's mechanics from the older ones, like Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, um, and Diablo 1. Those games, like each time you went through a progression, it was more of a storytelling than
Mm-hmm.
what it is now. Now it's more you got to get to this place and then the storyline begins instead of having to play the game throughout the storyline and the storyline would be with the gaming while you're playing the game. Now it's different. That now it's like you have to get to a certain spot, talk to an NPC, and that's where the storyline begins. Like that's where the story begins in that part of what you're doing in the
Yeah,
game.
I remember playing Diablo 2 and that happened. Like I was like, where's the next area or what do I do now? And then when I talked to this one NPC, I start the next
Right.
area. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's just weird. Like this
Right.
doesn't really explain to me. All right. So the
Right.
last and final one, and I know this is where you started your whole was it just started your whole live stream career? I'm not sure, but you do love playing Battle Royale back in the days. This is Apex Legends. And you say that the feel gives you the immersion before the update, and now it's more like ugh, sweats. God damn it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
tell
I
us about
mean
that.
back then it was different. It was just none of this like add-on crap that they have now. Like you gotta do like thing. The upgrades were had to be found basically back in the day where you had that feel like you know what it's a go in there or die type of situation. Now it's like now it makes it easier to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh-huh.
you get your power ups, you get your power levels, you can get
I guess we were cutting out here.
more to add.
Yeah, we're having a little difficulty over here. The sorry, Rich is probably
So it's
having
it's free.
yeah, you're probably having some difficulty over there. Your camera.
What my camera?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh really? I'm
I
seeing
think
myself.
we're good now. We're good now. But it was like you're stopping and going something
I'm
like.
just an ugly man. That's what it is.
But yeah, Apex
The
Legend,
camera
like
fucked up every time.
not even that battle royale type games. Like I dabble in battle royales, but for me personally, I will always play PUBG because you're going around and you're just I don't know if this is Apex Legend as well, but if you're going around, you don't hear no audio or something like oh there's somebody close by or nothing. You hear gunshot and you get identification of like footsteps going around you, and it tells you
Right.
how like if it's a car, you can see a car icon, where's it coming from. But that's only like
Mhm.
if you're in the vicinity of like a couple of meters away, and it tells you okay a
Right.
car going there. But if a car is like close by you, it'll show you like oh yo it's loud. Same thing with footsteps. But
Right.
if you're just walking around collecting stuff and you hear gunfights, you get to see like little icons where it's coming from, but you don't know where it's coming from. You're like okay I
Exactly. Like
see
you
that
don't know exactly where it's at. Like it could show you like it could be northeast, it could be north, it could be, but in actuality, it could be really to the west. You just don't know. It just could be a different
right. So yeah,
from far away that you're hearing, and it's not working.
yeah, it's like on PUBG, it's like you hear the gunfires and you're like, okay, I can see where it's coming from, but is it loud enough that I can that it's nearby, or is it far
Yeah,
enough
enough
that
that it's
it's
far
like,
away. Yeah.
okay, it's too far, I don't have to worry about it. Like those audio
Right.
cues is considered to be, immersive. Um, Gameplay, obviously, battle royale. Me personally, I'm not too fond of the battle royales because you die.
Yeah.
Like that one life thing,
Yeah.
it's like,
You know.
I can't do that
Uh-huh.
one life thing. But the gameplay mechanics I love. because it gives you like, okay, so you know you're gonna die one shot somebody finds you. Then you have to outsmart them because if not, then you're dead. And you gotta do like
Right.
you gotta like tactically strategize your movement so you can get the upper hand on them. That's what I
Yeah.
love about battle royale. What I don't like about battle royale is that you're done with one. If you're down, you're down. That's it. No more. And your teammates are ass if you get paired up with randoms.
Yeah. I like the fast-paced battle royales. Like in Call of Duty, I like the Resurgence. Resurgence has always been a number one for me.
Oh yeah, we
If I
go
remember
resurgence.
playing Warzone or whatever, it's gonna be Resurgence. I'm not gonna do regular battle royale. The map's way too big to be like,
So
walking around and then all of a sudden you get all this loot and then you die out of nowhere
yeah,
because you get
I
sniped from somebody from far away. So it's like, I
yeah.
don't know.
So
But I like the
Apex Legends, you
fast-paced
said
stuff.
that they updated the versions now to give you audio cues of people like they took away the suspense and like
Right.
okay, so you're taking like we got to like we're taking the suspense out, but we're giving you clues and hints. Does it gives you the same clues and hints as a PUBG where it's like, hey, there's an enemy here nearby, and if you hear the footsteps or do you hear like, or is it tells you like what do you do? Because I barely play Apex Legends.
What it has done now that it didn't do before is now that when either when characters even before when you start like at the start of when you're falling into the map, now it's showing you it's goes down. It's like, oh, an enemy landed by me or near me, and sometimes it'll let you know that, oh, a character might like, hey, I hear footsteps, there's some enemy nearby, and they have actual characters that have those mechanics that can tell you if there's enemies nearby.
Oh yeah,
So
that.
like Valkyrie, when she goes up in the air, she goes up, she does her ult, she can show where all the enemies are at with by scanning them.
So it's probably like a cheap version of UVA.
Right, a UVA, yeah, a UVA, yep. A
UVA.
cheaper version of UVA. There's a Scout. I think the guy's name is Scout,
Oh
where
yeah,
he can throw
that's the
like
Raven dude,
a
the one that has
you
the
call
crow
that thing?
looking dude or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a muzzle thing, and he shoots it, and it goes into and it scans the area, and it tells you that.
Yeah.
With crypto, he has a camera that he throws up in the air, and you can move that like a drone. He has a
Ah.
drone, and you can leave it there, and it'll detect when there's enemies nearby.
And they will just
So
ping
it's
them.
like they immerse themselves of trying to create characters that can help out in gameplay. But reality, it's like it took away the suspense part of it, like how it used to be with the normal six. I think it was like what Bloodhound,
Yeah, because the
uh,
Bloodhound tracks track the
Pathfinder.
nearest one, and like, they shows like tracks of where they was at like what, a
Right,
few minutes
right.
ago or whatever. A few like
Hmm.
yeah yeah. I mean, I personally would like if you were into battle royale. I know we tried getting into PUBG for console. Try getting into mobile. Like if you get a chance, download PUBG for the mobile and just
Yeah,
go at it and just try it out. Because I know for the mobile, it's
right.
super fun. It
Yeah,
is super
Call of
fun
Duty too. Call of Duty's pretty.
on the mobile. Yeah, it's pretty fun on the mobile.
Mhm. They
I
used
remember
to have Apex on mobile too. I don't know what happened to it.
which one?
I was trying to look for it, but
Oh, Apex. Yeah. Now
yeah, Apex had a
they
mobile
canceled
game
that.
too,
They
and
canceled that one
I
quick.
don't know what happened.
They canceled that one quick.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, this is gonna be the end of the segment for
There, no, I
everyone.
don't
Thank you for
know.
watching. Definitely check out Rich Gaming live on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock. He'll be streaming over at twitch.com.tv. If you
Hmm.
guys wanted to talk about the discussion, go ahead and leave it in down in the comments below, and let's see what you got. Until the next one, I'll be reading comments for the next stream. Next stream. We probably might do a live stream next Tuesday just for to see how that flows and whatnot. Get some viewers up in this bad boy. I will have
Yeah,
to get my second monitor up and running and that stuff. Other than that, our next topic for next week is good AI versus bad AI, and we'll be talking about what kind of AI things we can use good and what kinds are just shitty AI. But until next time, guys, I appreciate Rich for joining me in this podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces.
Peace.